Hello, welcome to this new tutorial. Today we are going to talk about rights. So following would be the framework of understanding rights. First, we shall talk about meaning and definitions of rights, followed by characteristics of rights, then classification of rights, next fundamental rights, and last, fundamental duties of citizens. So in this tutorial we shall focus on meaning and definitions of rights. Rest of the points would be covered in subsequent tutorials. So let's begin the meaning and definitions of rights. The word rights, which we use in the modern English terminology, has its origin from the Old English rights or right. In the early period, it had been used with different nomenclature in various languages across the world. Rights in its objective sense is described as right or just action that individuals have to discharge to maintain harmonious relationships between themselves. So basically, when we talk about rights in its objective sense, it has been described as just action, and that action which individual has to deliver to maintain certain harmonious relationship between the society and between the individual. And therefore without these rights, there cannot be harmonious relationship between the individual. So rights are essential for the adequate development of human personality and for human happiness. So therefore these rights are very important for human personality. Without these rights, human cannot develop its personality, as well as human cannot or individual cannot achieve his or her happiness. So experience shows that unless the citizens of a state are guaranteed a certain rights, it is not possible for them to live a full life. So basically, when we talk about rights, it is state's responsibility that state must guarantee certain rights to its citizens, because if state does not guarantee and protect its certain rights, then it is very difficult for individual to live their life full or to live their life with happiness. So therefore, when we talk about rights, rights are the necessary condition for the personal, social, economic, political, mental and moral development of individuals. So in short, rights always help people to develop their personal life, their social life, their economic contribution, their political rights, their mental as well as moral development of rights. So therefore rights are very important, essential part of individual life within the society. Now let's move on with some definitions. So we have first definition by Lasky. Now here Lasky defines the rights as rights are those conditions of social life without which no man can be his best self. Now this is very simple definition to understand. According to Lasky says that rights are very important condition which is necessary for all the individual to be part of that social life, to enjoy that social life, and therefore without such rights, individual cannot be the best in its own self. So therefore there are certain social rights which are very important for the development of individual, and thus without these conditions of social life, man cannot be the best in the society. Moving on, we have Dr. Beni Prasad. According to Beni Prasad, rights are nothing more and nothing less than those social conditions which are necessary or favorable to the development of personality. Again, Dr. Beni Prasad also stress upon this need of a social conditions, and the social condition in society depends upon the rights which people are enjoying, and therefore these rights are nothing more and nothing less uh, in those social conditions which are necessary or which has to be favorable enough for the development of one's personality. Moving on to T.H. Green, according to him, rights is a power claimed and recognized as contributory to common good. T.H. Green stress about the power which is associated with these rights, whether it is social rights, political rights, or economic rights, and therefore one who has these political rights, he has that power, or he has that power to recognize with the contribution what he has made towards the common good of the society. Moving on to Professor Barker, according to him, rights as the external condition necessary for the greatest possible development of the capacity of the personality. Again, here Professor Barker also stress upon the necessity of these rights, which are actually are nothing but external part of the society, which in a greater way help to develop the capacity of personalities or the capacities of the individual and their personalities. So again, rights are very very important for the development of one's individual personality. Moving on to Hobbes, according to Hobbes, he defined rights as one's natural rights or one's natural power. So basically Hobbes goes to a very classical understanding of a state that according to him, rights are one's natural rights which he enjoys in a state of nature, and that natural rights is equated to the natural power which individual enjoys in classical state of or the nature of state. Moving on to Bonsenquet, according to him, he defines right as we have a right to the means that are necessary to the development of our lives in the direction of the highest good of the community of which we are a pen. So basically Bosanquet stress upon the means that are necessary to develop one's life, and the means which are necessary to develop one's lives are the rights which individual enjoys, and these rights such as social, political, economic, mental or moral will eventually lead towards living a good life within the community, because finally we are a part of that community which we live together, and therefore we share certain rights for the development of personality as well as to the development of the community and society. So to conclude, rights are recognized and sanctioned by only society. One must remember that whenever we are talking about political rights, economic rights, mental or a moral or a personal right or a social rights, all these rights are sanctioned and recognized only in a civilized society. One cannot enjoy these rights in a state of nature entirely, because state of nature entirely is always in chaos. So therefore there can be no rights outside the society. So you cannot enjoy these rights outside of the society, as I was talking about a state of nature or a jungle state where people are not civilized enough. So one must and one will enjoy these rights only when it is recognized and sanctioned by the state and society, and therefore one cannot enjoy these rights outside of the society. So I hope you have understood the first tutorial of rights series, which is meaning and definitions of rights. So see you soon in next tutorial of characteristics of rights. Till then, take care.